Hello and welcome to this tutorial. This is Casey and today we're going to do calculations on dividends and interest. This is purely based on SACCO, how your dividends and how your interest is calculated. Now, by the way, if you don't understand what dividends and interest are, please watch my video that talks about the differences between dividends and interest. I've put it in the description below. Please go and check it out once you're done with this video. So let's go ahead and see how dividends are calculated. At the same time, we'll do another calculation down here, how the interest is computed. So first things first, let's start with month. Now I'm going to use December 23 as our starting month, and I'll pull this down until November 2024. Now here I have the month. Here is the period where I'm supposed to calculate my dividends for the period. Share capital is what qualifies you to be a member, and in this situation what we are doing is that we are assuming that you did not put your 100% share capital at the start when you join the SACCO. So let's go ahead and put some amount here. Let's say you do 10,000, and for this specific formula I'm going to make a quick number so that it can be easy for us. Comma, decimal point, and here we are. So at the start of December 2023, you invested in the SACCO with 10,000 shillings. So I'm going to put a running total. Now running total is the incremental amount that adds up when you do a top up. Okay, so when you do a top up here, it adds up on the running total. Now share capital in this instance, we'll assume that for you to be marked as a member in the SACCO, you have to contribute 25,000. So at the first of the beginning, you've done 10k, so you have a balance of 15 to qualify to be a member. Now what I'm going to do here is a running total, where I'm saying whatever you add here plus the previous month. So I'm going to pull down this formula down here up to this point. So what we assume here, in January 2023 you added 10,000. Now in March you got some 5k somewhere and you added into that. So you see what happens in this running total. That means in the month of March onwards, your share capital has reached 15,000. And let's say in August 2024 you decided the 10k plus the 5k plus the 10k adds up to 25,000. Now if your SACCO mandates to be 25,000, then this is the amount that you should be adding. Now dividends, this we will give it, most of the SACCO give dividends of 15%. So I'll do the same here and copy down because it's a flat rate. Days of the month. The reason I'm using days of the month here is close to accurate as possible, because we can assume we divide by 30, but of course each month has a different number of days. December has 31, Feb has 28 and 29. So what I'm going to do here, you can follow up this formula, but don't have to crack your head on this. So I'm going to compute how many days are in December, and then comma 0, and this is the number of days that are in the month of December 2023. Now you can see here, because Feb 24 was a leap year, I had 29 days. Okay, now what I'll do in this place here, I'm going to put total of the number of days. So you see this period we had 366 days as opposed to 365. Now fraction, this is something that I don't want to complicate, but let's do a quick math here. If you do an exam and your exam is out of 40 and you get maybe 20 out of 40, so I'll do the calculations here. I'll say 20 out of 40 means is that you got 50%, or you get 0.5, half the number of marks that you are entitled to get 40 out of 40. So if you, now in this context, this is the same approach we'd use on this one. The number of days in December 2023, how does it equate in terms of fraction compared to the numbers of days in a full year? 31 divided by 366. Now I ran down the calculations and you can see, sorry, just pull down the formula and until it stops here. So these are the fractions of this. What are dividends? Now dividends is calculated from your amount you contributed multiplied by the dividends in terms of percentage, and the fraction of that specific month is equivalent to your dividends. So on the month of December 2023 you got 127 shillings, and I will do the same thing by pulling down the formula I'll also minimize the confusion here by changing the numbers and removing 2 decimal places, and here we are. This is the summation of your dividends in the year that has concluded on November 2024. Okay, now this is the first prime, so you can now easily compute, understand how your share capital was calculated, which results into dividends. So your dividends for this year, a specific period, will be 2,564. Now what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to do the same thing. I'll copy this formula and then I will paste it down here. What I'll do here is I will remove these numbers, because this will be the different, and here is now when you do deposit you get interest, when you do share capital you get dividends. Okay, so we will do some estimation of that. Then interest is usually in the range of 11, and I'm going to change all the way down and change it to 11. The number of days still remain the same. The calculation of this will be computed once we get the figures here, and the interest will show up on this other end. So the only thing we need to say here is, let's assume in December you also did the 10,000 on your contributions, and then let's say in March you did another maybe 25,000. Okay, this is your contributions in SACCO, and then July we say you did 10,000. The next month you did 5,000. The subsequent maybe a month in October you did, let's say, 20,000. So now what will happen here is that once you reach the 25 cap in this specific area, you don't need to add any more money. However, this one can be, you can add as much as possible. So we're going to contribute this. Now the formula is the same. The approach is the same. As at the end of the year, the SACCO will do is they will give you this amount plus this, so plus this. This is what they will compute your gross, and then they will do withholding tax, which is calculated at 5%. So we have this multiply by 0.05. Okay, that's 5%, and I can format print here, and then now your net will be equals to this amount minus this amount, and that's what you'll get in your dividends that will be credited. So thank you guys, see you in my next one.